Go ahead, Gabe.
Hey, Kofi, when you see some bigs that Wisconsin has that they don't have quite the muscle, do you start licking your chops going into a game like tonight?
I start licking my chops. No, I wouldn't say I lick my chops, man. My coaches emphasize like how physical I should be in the games. In certain games, certain games that they know I can take advantage. So I'm just prepared and ready for that. I don't really think I lick my chops. I think I could score on most of the bigs in the Big Ten, if not every. So I don't really get excited.
Rob.
Wisconsin has this reputation for not fouling. You drew 10 fouls tonight. Would you talk about them collapsing and what it was like to play against two defenders?
I experienced it a lot, especially in the last 2 years here. So it's just about knowing how to deal with it right now. Having patience and not rushing my shots, and just looking for these guys. Jake's a great cutter. He gets open whenever he sees that happen, or whenever his guy double off him. So it's just about reading the defense. Being composed and not rushing and turning the ball over.
Andy.
DeMonte, I know you were guarding Johnny a lot. What kind of went into your approach guarding him, and how did you kind of have the success you did defensively against him?
Just making them make tough shots, making everything contested, really just making it hard for them, and just going with the flow like that.
Jeremy.
Jake, this is two Big Ten Player of the Year candidates kind of going against each other. Johnny with DeMonte limiting him, and Kofi. What do you think Kofi showed tonight of those kind of accolades?
I think Kofi showed who Kofi is. Every time he catches the ball, I expect something good to happen. I throw the ball to him a lot, and I read the defenses a lot, and they picked their poison and went with Kofi. Love playing with Kofi. That's all love.
In the back, way back.
Kofi, yeah, I know Curbelo only played 11 minutes, I believe, but what impact does he make? I mean, he was getting you the ball, and when he's in the game, you're going to get the ball. I mean, just what kind of impact does Curbelo make when he's out there for you?
He gives us that composure, being the floor general that he is. Just like reading defense properly, cruising, just doing what he does. He definitely gives us more confidence, with his ball control and like his passing. So he just gives us that other edge where he helps us both on defense and offense, where on defense he's so active. He talks, he's in the right spots, So he definitely lifts us a lot.
Joey.
Jake, you got a couple to go down early. Did that help you get in a rhythm for this game? Or I guess what would you like to see some of those early threes fall?
It definitely feels good to see it go in. I feel like I've been in a little shooting slump. That doesn't really matter. We've been winning games. Coming to the game, I just decided I was out of my slump from here on out. So
follow up. Go ahead.
How did you decide that and follow through on it?
I literally just decided. I was talking to Ty, and I told him I was back. I'm good. I'm out of the slump. It's mind control. Powerful power to mind.
Ooh.
Kofi, after struggling early in the year against Arizona and maybe not playing as well as you wanted to against Purdue, and then not literally being able to play against Michigan State, to come out and play the way you did against the Wisconsin team, what's that mean to you?
I wouldn't call it a struggle, personally. I just think those guys played a really good game. They had a really good execution defensively with us guarding me. I think I don't remember what I had against Arizona. I think I had a decent game. I don't think I had a horrible game. This game means a lot to me because, this game, it was emphasis on this game. We were both tied for first place. That team is a really good team. They're projected to be a number one seed in the tournament, so it was just about like preparing for what we want to achieve in the future. We want to be in the tournament. We want to win the tournament ultimately. So it was just about preparing right now, making sure that we play the game the right way. We keep growing, So it was really big time that we had that win.
Yeah.
Kofi, have you been more active in your post moves when you get the ball in the post because the double's coming? It just seems like you've been a little bit more active and a little more sure of yourself when you get that ball.
Yeah, that comes with confidence, man. When you played in this league for as long as I did, and you've seen so many different defenses and way in which guys guard you, you just have to be composed, Especially with me, I trust myself that I make the right play. I trust my touch. I work on my game a lot, so it's just about being patient, not forcing anything. I'm trying to make the right reads. Have great shooters like Jake, and they uplift me a lot with just shooting the ball well, so guys can't double as much as they should, So it's just about reading the defense and making the right plays.
Jeremy.
DeMonte, feels like you guys won 2 games last week in this, 50s this game. You shut them down in the second half. What are you seeing from your defense, the growth, and what's that mean for you guys moving forward?
Just everybody being locked in and paying attention to the scouting report, so we don't have scouting report errors, and everybody holding each other accountable for that. I feel like that's big time growth for us.
For Jake and Kofi, what is most impressive about DeMonte?
Ooh. This is energy, man. DeMonte's that guy. I keep saying it. He's that guy. He doesn't care about anything else. He's the most selfless guy I know. We're just like selling himself on trying to like win and do whatever he can for his teammates. Whether it's taking a charge, whether it's locking up the other team's best defender, best offensive player, and rebounding the ball the way he did at his size. So just the sacrifices that he made, man, it means a lot to us as a team and as friends. That's our brother before anything else. And that's his vibe, man. It's a great vibe. He's a great leader and a great brother.
You may answer it. I was gonna say Monte from Peoria. He does not care. He don't care if something bad happened or something good happened. He gets a tough assignment every night, and he accepts the challenge every night. He plays hard, does all the little things that it takes to win. It's just brotherhood.
Back here to the left.
So obviously tonight you knew coming in that the winner of this game would take sole possession of first place in the Big Ten. Just can you talk about the crowd despite, the weather and just how loud that student section was tonight?
That's a lot of love. Shout out to Illini Nation. Saw on Twitter all the people talking about giving away tickets and people couldn't make it and all that. I think that shows that Illini Nation is really behind us and they believe in us and they brought a lot of energy. I don't know. I couldn't tell how many people it was or how full it was, but it was loud. It was tremendous.
Yeah, I can second something to that. Going into that game, myself, I felt like it wasn't going to be as much people as it should because of the snow. And man, when that game started, when I went on the court, when the buzzer sound, I looked in the stands, man. It was incredible, man. They gave me so much energy. The sacrifice that they make to come out here in the snow, it's incredible, man. And we appreciate you, Illini Nation, man.
Early in the year, there were a few times last year you played a lot of, guarded a lot of fours, bigger guys. Mm-hmm. As this year's progressed, now you're defending more on the perimeter. How have you adjusted to having to guard more guys like Johnny Davis, for example?
Just sticking to the scouting report and taking on the challenge that coach gives me every game. Really just going out there and competing for my brothers so we can get the win.
Jake, I just got to know, you're from California. I know you've been here 3 years, but how did you learn the fabric of Peoria and how that impacts Monte?
Because I know Monte, and he always talking about Peoria and all that.
Hey, man, you'll be all right, baby.
Yep.
For all three of you guys, after what happened last year with the Big Ten championship, I know that bothered you guys. How much does winning a Big Ten championship mean to you? And now that you're in first place, what's next for all three of you?
I would say we worked really hard to stay in first or to be in first place, and we got to work even harder to stay in first place. Last year we didn't win the regular season. We weren't regular season champs. So first we want that one and then get back to that Big Ten championship. It's an amazing feeling, to win a championship. And then after that, it's the tournament. So just one thing at a time. We got practice tomorrow. Just stacking every day, just building. We know what our goals are.
For each of you guys, is there, I know you've talked about the next man up all year, but now that you guys are as full health, I think, as you're going to be, is there a lift just knowing that you've got everybody starting to come back in the fold?
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I'm coming back for my third year. I just had that in my mind, going through my mind about how stacked this team is and how deep we are. We have really good shooters, we have really good guards, really good bigs, and the first couple months it's been a struggle with just like keeping the full roster. And now that we have the full roster, I feel like our confidence is going to go through the roof. And right now we're just going to keep chopping wood and keep getting better as a team and individually. So it's just about growing right now as a team with the full roster that we have.
In the way back,
Monty, Jake piqued my interest. So what do you tell them about Peoria? What is the scouting report when somebody's never heard of Peoria? How do you describe 309 in Peoria?
Tough, man. You're gonna do whatever it takes for us to win, no matter what it is. I'll be beating up them in the locker room all the time, but just being tough and just stepping up to the plate and taking on the challenge.
here to the left.
apologies if this has been asked. I was out. But this is mostly for Kofi. You know, you have Steven Crowell, but then you also have Tyler Wall that you have to kind of like double team. Obviously, the focus was Steven, but how did you balance like having both of those decent post players?
You know, it's about preparation before anything else. Just blocking in, watching film, knowing what those guys do, that makes my job way easier. You know, personnel, you know that one guy's a shooter and one guy's not really good. A good shooter is not a really good shooter. So just finding my spots when I could help, when which players on the court, when I could help off, which players I need to be up on. Just adjusting when they rotate and come in the game. So it's just about scouting and knowing the personnel.
Anything else for the players? All right. Thank you, man.
It's still snowing outside. Hope it ain't. Ooh.
Nah. Yeah, I saw way more in New York.
Well, I'm going to make snow angels tomorrow, boy.
You a snow fight? Stay inside. You trying to go snow fight? Yeah.
Hey, there's one on the quad.
I saw that. Yeah. I got practice tomorrow, man.
That'd be hard to explain.
Where you at, bro?
First thing I'd like to do is, one, thank all of you for being here, but more importantly, our fans. It'll seem like Mardi Gras in that building tonight. I don't know what the actual attendance was, but for those who believed in us, cared to come out, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know the weather was terrible. For all the staff that had to work and grind on a day like today. Thank you to all the maintenance people who are pushing snow and making it feasible. Thank you. You know, it was few people missed it, but to those who showed, it was an incredible atmosphere. Shows the passion and the love they have for Illinois basketball. And again, I say thank you to that. But that's a really, really good basketball team. And Wisconsin is every bit as good as advertised. I see why they're number one in the country in quad 1 wins and quad 2 wins. It's a tribute to Greg to see the development of Tyler Wall, to see the development of Johnny Davis, and how those guys have emerged into elite players. Brad we've all seen Brad forever. But I didn't know early if we'd ever get a stop. I thought the second half we had a little teeth in our defense, but that ended up being the difference. And I think they were 2 for 23 before the last 3 that they threw in. Our goal was to hold them under 4, to challenge those threes, make them shoot hard 2s. And then, on the offensive end, it was a little bit of an unusual night, which we're becoming very accustomed to seeing. Plummer was just a gravity guy tonight. I mean, wherever he went, there were guys with him. Brad Davison never left him. He was assignment sound. And that's okay. And, freed things up for Kofi. Jake got some really clean looks. Tonight Kofi was the best player on the court and maybe the best player in the country. But again, I think it stems to the second half all about our defense, and it led to better offense.
Really right, Brad.
Wisconsin does a really good job executing offensively. In the first half, they got a few things early, but what adjustments you make at halftime to take those away and make it more isolation type stuff?
We just needed to get in them a little bit. I mean, we were just so passive. We were letting them run their stuff. And, you let them run their stuff. And Tyler Wall, great example, had a huge first half, had 12. We just let him catch it. Where there was no real resistance. And then when they did miss, they got the offensive rebound. And it was just us just being little. We just didn't have any bite. And the second half we came out, and I thought towards the end of the first half we started to establish a little bit. But you can't do that against a team like that very often. But I thought DeMonte was and Trent were huge. 5 of 19 for Johnny. He scored his points because he got to the foul line, but you forced somebody into 20% shooting, made all of his shots hard, and Brad didn't have a 3. And again, that's a tribute to Trent. So, but yeah, we resisted some passes a little bit. We took away their easy post up catches, and that helped us.
Jeremy?
Brad, it seems like DeMonte and Trent force players into off nights almost every time they hit the 4. What's that mean if you can get the rest of your team to play that kind of defense? Like, what do those two set the tone? Like, how do they impact you every night? Yeah,
they impact what the other team does, and they can do and can't do. And I think that it's you start having to look at, and Kofi's pretty darn good too, but you start looking at having to go to 3rd and 4th options. You better have really, really good players to take advantage of that. And Jake's job the second half, he held Tyler Wall to 2. But we work on it a lot. It's about 2/3 of our practice is on the defensive side. The job Plummer's done is much better. Now that we've got these freshmen starting to play, and it's really helping us.
I know you got to talk about the whole next man up thing all year, but is there a mental lift just to knowing that you guys are as full strength as you can possibly be right now? And if so, what does that look like?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. And, it's like I felt and I still do. I feel great about Omar and Ben, and, but let's call it what it is. It's pretty nice to have Kofi in the middle. And Bello lived in the paint tonight, and, he's a guy that, played 12, 13 minutes, and we'll work him back in as we go. And tonight was invaluable because Trent picked up a couple fouls, but, you've got a guy who no one no one is yet to stop, including Baylor last year, could stop him from getting in the paint. And that stresses the defense. So, yeah, it's nice to actually have the whole group and to work with them every day.
You guys are in first place in the Big Ten after 11 games. Why is this team good enough to win a Big Ten championship?
Great character, great chemistry. I think most nights we fight really hard. And I think they care enough about each other to do that. It's, you know, there's a lot of really talented teams. There's a lot of basketball left. You know, we've dealt with so much adversity. I think it's helped us draw closer. You know, how many teams in the, you know, maybe the exception of Houston, how many teams in the country played five games without, you know, arguably the best player in the country, and you know, and another 2.5 months without another one. So who's really good and who's on a lot of All-American lists. So it's brought us together, and I hope that can help carry us the rest of the way.
Jake told us that he just said he decided he was done struggling. He just said is that something only maybe a 24-year-old can do?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's Kofi helps him. Kofi helps him a lot. You know, he's a great post feeder. He's a great spacer. And when Jake rebounds and plays with that a little bit of bite on the defensive end, his offensive game just comes to him. And but that's a maturity. You know, Jake's got that California cool type. Nothing rattles him, nothing bothers him. And I really got on him the other day in practice 2 days ago and just challenged him because I'm tired of seeing him miss shots, and he's a good shooter, and he shoots 1 million balls every day. And it's like you said, he just got tired of it and said, man, I'm gonna make some balls. And that's nice to be able to have that maturity and to be able to do that.
Jeremy.
Brad, just to clarify, did you want to limit Curbelo's minutes tonight? Was that part of the plan?
Well, I'm going to be fair to him. I'm not going to put him out here when he hasn't had a ton of minutes. Yeah, I played him more in the Purdue game than I ever anticipated. I think there's got to be an ease back in. You know, I think there's got to be a feel, a chemistry, you know, not just, you know, launch him out here and play, you know, 25, 30 minutes. You know, and we'll see how things go. He's had very limited practice time until, you know, he's just gotten back from his protocols. So, you know, it's trying to be very fair to him and very fair to our team. And, you know, tonight worked out perfect because about the right kind of minutes. You know, it's what I kind of anticipated, and we'll see how those grow and what every situation has. And, you know, it's, you know, game by game.
Just to follow up, what's he do? I mean, to have him do what he did in the first half offensively when Frazier and Plummer were struggling, what kind of depth do you now have after the freshman and Curbelo now come?
I hope really, really good. Well, we all know how good Andre Curbelo is, and we haven't seen that this year. And now you see RJ Melendez is going to be special, guys. I mean, I'm just telling you, he's going to be special. And Luke Goody and Brandon, and I love those guys. And so I hope I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable playing anybody, and that's rare for me. That's really rare.
In the back with you.
Brad, did you have any idea what kind of crowd to expect? Kofi said he wasn't sure at all and was kind of surprised when the game tipped off. Did you have any idea? And part two, did you do any shoveling today?
No, that's what my wife's for. Oh, that costs that. Absolutely a big joke. I actually shoveled this morning on my way to to my truck, but I was shocked to I didn't think I'd see anybody in the upper bowl. And I figured some students would show up. The weather was nasty. Thank goodness it really kind of let up a little bit. I know when I drove in, but you know what? I had an unbelievable smile on my face when I get here 2 hours before, and I see everybody standing outside. And you know, now there may have been 30 packs packed in the snow, and everybody's having a good time from, you know, staying warm with inside. But man, that's what makes this place so special. And I keep reiterating, I can't say that enough, but it means the world to me to see that crowd tonight. And it was loud. It was loud.
Rob, and then we'll go to the middle.
Back to Bello. I think you pulled him after he didn't get back on defense a couple times in the first half. Is it still with his emotions? Is that getting back into shape as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's been good he's been great that way. And one of the things that's really hard for Bello is, he lives in the paint. So you're talking about transition defense play. I mean, somebody's, got to cover for him when he drives and does those things. But yeah, he's been unbelievable in practice. He's like a different human being in a really positive way from early in the season.
You're in the middle.
You touched on UW's offense a little bit, but Johnny Davis said that a lot of it was them just getting unlucky, not being able to get shots to fall. From your perspective, how much was it? You talked defensively that you guys really shut them down. I'd agree. But how much was it that they just couldn't get open looks to fall?
Well, and I'm not sure how many they got. I look forward to the film. I thought Johnny shot a couple balls that were in and out. That's the game of basketball. That's the one thing you can't really predict. I thought one of the biggest keys was they shot a lot of jump shots, and especially after the first 12 minutes, I felt like we were able to take that away. So it's a little harder on the road making jump shots. I would like to think our defense had something to do with that, and maybe even the offense of having to feel like you have to score could add a little pressure and bite. But Johnny's a great player, and I just thought we made him work a lot tonight to get his looks.
Scott and then Andy.
You mentioned just Plummer just having sort of a gravitational pull with their defense. Just how impactful is that, even maybe on a night when he doesn't shoot it well, but he could?
That's the whole key. That's why we brought him here. That is, when you talk about our whole game on the offensive side, is very simple. It's about space. And when you can create space, however it is, and we ran one set a lot tonight and one action a lot. And, when you've got to stay glued to him and put him in action, and I mean, they didn't leave him. Great. You've done your job as a teammate in that game. And, we've seen other teams adjust and do things according to him. But he's definitely at the top of the scouting report.
Andy.
Offensively, it seemed like you guys were kind of moving the ball quickly and able to flow well. What kind of went into your offensive flow just being kind of better than it had been maybe last week or the last couple of games?
Much better pace. We got away from calling as many sets, especially early in the first half. We just played into flow, what we call flow. Again, we took our opportunities. DeMonte got downhill a couple of times. We found Kofi, so we just better pace tonight.
Brad, are you seeing a more assertive Kofi when he gets that post touch, that there's not that pause after the catch? It seems like he knows what he wants to do before he catches the ball and knows a double's coming.
Yeah. I think he got it deep tonight. Now they did a really good job early of really standing him up, at the free throw line and not giving him his depth. But, he made quick, decisive moves. He shot the couple he missed. He was off balance. He just kind of had a little lean to him. But yeah, he's starting to understand. He made nice passes out. We threw it back in on a repost a good amount of time. So I've been really pleased with the way he's growing in that area.
37 points and 12 rebounds against the team at the top of the Big Ten and the top 25. Is there a performance that you've coached for against that comes to mind? That just seems like really large numbers in this situation.
Well, it's right up there. I mean, was able to be around Michael Beasley a lot. Bees was pretty good too. I mean, Bees averaged 26 and 12 as a freshman. So, he had a few 40-point nights and probably could have had 60-point nights if we'd have left him in. But that was a dominant performance. But, and I say that against one of the best teams in the country. And that's a very good basketball team. They're where they're at for a reason.
Alec.
Brett, aside from working Curbelo back into things and getting used to everything, where can this team really improve in the last month of the regular season?
Oh, we've got to continue to get better on the glass. We got to continue to get better defensively. We can't have lapses like we had tonight to start the game, and where we don't have any bite and fight. I thought our bench tonight really gave us a nice lift. I thought Luke and RJ, Bello, Omar right there in the first half gave us a good lift, gave us some good minutes, and but I'm pleased. Those guys got to keep staying confident, keep working, and their time's coming.
All right, Brad.
As you're bringing these guys back, how do you work the matchups and who you want on the floor together as you're trying to combine these minutes? How does that factor into it?
I have no earthly idea yet. I'm being brutally honest. It's one of those things we got to see in practice. I played yesterday with the three little guys a little bit. I haven't done that very much since really early in the fall. We've spent some time with Bello off the ball and both on it. We've also looked some playing big. So it's really hard, and it's almost a feel, yet you don't want to upset the apple cart. We're doing some pretty good things, but it'll work itself out. And I do a lot by feel, based on the other team. So it's kind of a game by game deal.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Be safe, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.